Okay, you're not gonna believe this. But, hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're gonna be taking this E36 and we're gonna be swapping in a B48. The B48 will have two different transmission options here for the sale in terms of our brackets. We're gonna have the GS617HG and the 8HP50Z. We're gonna be doing a number of swaps on this, and it's gonna be a continuation of the swaps that we've been doing over the last couple months. As you look up above, we've done the E30 and we've done the E46. Both of those have the B48 and the B58 swaps, brackets that are available for purchase on our website. All right, so as you can see here, we have a 1999 E36 two-door manual. It's got an M52. We're gonna yank that out really quick. Here we have our B48 and we've got our B58. And over here we have our 8HP on the left and then our manual 6-speed transmission on the right. As you can see, what a big difference in the size between the two of those. I guess that's it. Let's just yank out this motor and get started. All right, the M52 is out and we have an open engine bay. Quite a rusty bay, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. That's what you guys are working with anyway, rusty bays. So we're doing the same thing you're doing, guys, from one enthusiast to another.
From one enthusiast to another.
We do have a lot of hoses and stuff we have to remove just to make sure we have all the clearances and everything. But other than that, it should be pretty easy to cut a lot of this stuff out and just see where the interferences lie. But we gotta get this B48 in one of those transmissions, bolt it together and throw it on in. I wanted to take a minute and thank Detailz Used Cars in Endicott, New York. They are a really great quality used car dealership. They specialize in BMWs. They can get you what you want, they can get it fast, and they can get it relatively cheap. They provided me this E36 to do the B48 swap, and when we're done, I'm gonna give them the first set of B48 E36 brackets that roll off the Garageaholic assembly line. So they provided me this car. Thank you guys so much for doing that. And I'm looking forward to partnering up with you as you guys build your own B48. Now, while we're bringing the engine up, I wanted to make an important note about when you prototype these types of setups, we got to make sure that we have the brackets that actually bolt onto the block first, right? Because we're going to be bolting these onto the block, and then we're going to be connecting the dots from the block to the mounts. The mounts are already installed, so we got that set. These are the brackets that we've prototyped. And these brackets have these little guys.
And just to break away for a second, these two-piece brackets are actually for sale as an independent kit that you can use and just bolt onto the block and swap into any chassis you want. So if you're not too sure about exactly what you want to swap into, these brackets are exactly what you're looking for, and it's a lot cheaper.
As you can see, there are standoffs on all four corners on both of these brackets, and that's needed to bypass the coolant and oil passages on the block that kind of round out. So we have to bypass that and kind of circumvent it. We got to bolt these on with some E12s, and then we're going to be bringing the car down and just putting it in, getting it all in place, and then starting to weld. Well, actually, we put the engine in a little bit too prematurely. I should have learned from my E46 effort that the inside of the steering rack weldment on the subframe needs to be shaved down so that the engine gets it just a little bit lower. So we're just gonna yank it out, do that shaving, I'll show you what I do, and then we'll throw it right back in. Okay, the engine is in. We started with the transmission jack like we always do. And the transmission jack, I need some light. Oh God, that's a little bit better. So what we did was we used the transmission jack to prop up the 8HP and have it lying on its as level as possible. Right now it's not level, it's still cocked a little bit to the passenger side, so we have to balance that out. And that's why we have these two jack stands here. Now remember, everything is still holding very well on the subframe, so there's no risk in having things fall. You can see on the subframe it is touching, so we have to raise it all up, and as we raise it, we're gonna twist it. We're also gonna use this jack stand here to get on top underneath the crank pulley, and that's gonna raise it right smack in the middle. It'll allow us to check our side-to-side tolerances to the frame rails as well. Okay, you're not gonna believe this, but I threw in the E36 B48 mount kit, and it is incredibly close. It's not exactly the same, but it is so close that I can actually use this product and do a tweak to it in order to get this B48 to sit perfectly level. Well, let me explain. All right, if you look in there, you will see that I've got the existing B48 brackets from the E46. E46 and E36 are very similar. I've got the same thing here, but you can see I've got some spacers on there, right there, some circular spacers there between the mount and the bracket. And the reason that I have those is because without it, the engine kind of sits a little bit cocked to one side, so it's not actually exactly the same. When I did the E46 brackets, I made sure that everything was completely level to the engine, to the chassis as I did this. And without it, it is cocked to the side. Let me bring this car up a little bit and I'll show you exactly what I mean. All right, I'm gonna bring this up and hopefully you can still hear me. When you install an engine and a transmission into a new chassis, you always want to make sure that it's level left and right, forward and backward, that the output shaft matches and goes right through the center of the tunnel. In this case, using the E46 brackets for this, it was almost perfect. It was just cocked a little bit to the side, maybe about 10 degrees. And that's what those spacers are intended to do. Just kind of make up for that. Bringing it down, I want you to see exactly how level it is now, and you can see if I didn't have those spacers in there on the passenger side, it would have been definitely 10 degrees off. So it's really not ideal. So now that we have the entire drive lane completely level, we need to make sure that this part is actually up and down level on the backside. So we have to actually design a new transmission bracket. The transmission bracket for my E36 N54 effort does not fit here on the 8 HP, so we need to make something a little bit different, but utilizing the same mounting locations. Okay, so the transmission bracket is done. You can see everything is nice and level here. This is the transmission bracket. It bolts to the same location as that of my E36 N54. This is a prototype, so this is definitely just mocked up, but the location surfaces where they mount to the chassis and using the rubber transmission bracket mounts, everything is, you can see like an example there, like see how like the edge of that transmission mount is hanging over? Like that's all gonna be fixed as part of the production version, but this just gets the positions correct, and you can see, I'll see from the video exactly where it needs to be. So I will be able to make a much more professional looking bracket for production. Having said that, guys, I've got my transmission output shaft measured. I know exactly where they are to the center bearing, and I know exactly where it is relative to the very rusty differential here. But I've got all the dimensions that I need. I could yank this 8 HP out and put the GS6 17HG in. So now the B48 is back into the E36 and it's sitting at its stock mounting locations with the brackets that we used before. We just got a different transmission hooked up, a manual tranny. And we want to make sure that we can get the manual tranny bracket set for you guys as well, because we do offer 3-piece kits with this stuff, not just the 2-piece. So we want to make sure we get a transmission bracket that works with our kit, making it a little bit more all-encompassing. Here we've got this thing teeter-tottering right now. Looking pretty good, pretty straight. We got to bring it up in the air, and then we got to kind of get everything aligned from that perspective, and then start making our transmission bracket. Really not many different dimensions that this thing can move. It goes only one direction, really, up or down. So we need to bring this thing up until it's floating exactly where we want it. And got to move this over just a tiny bit here. And I think we'll get the Guibo installed. I think I'm gonna just take this stuff out. This stuff is really bad for me. But yeah, we're just gonna take this and we'll put the Guibo on. We'll put the drive shaft on and see how close it is to the center there as well. And then we can start fabricating our drive shaft, which looks like it's gonna be somewhere along the line of maybe this hole and that hole. Looks perfect, actually. I've got the jack stand holding up the transmission. That controls the height up and down. And I've got the half shaft installed. And the half shaft is fully installed. It is tightened up. And you can see how evenly that is in the middle there. Let me get a light on this. So you can see how evenly and centered that drive shaft output is in the center of that tunnel where the center bearing is. That's exactly what you want when you position your engine. Got to make sure that it's good up and down, left and right. And fore and aft. We've already got the fore and aft. That's already taken care of here by the oil pan clearance, which I have plenty of. I've got a garagistic poly mount there, something there that's useful in this situation to position the engine and drivetrain. Just kind of cocked it over a little bit to the right. And now I've got my transmission mounts right there, and I've got my holes on the chassis side. I just need to connect the dots. So let's try to do that right now and get a nice bracket out of this setup so that you guys can enjoy a 6-speed manual transmission in your E36. So this guy is now on and welded, and I can now take it off. In fact, might as well remove it here. There we go. Everything is sitting on its own now, which is wonderful news. This is a very clunky looking prototype, but who cares? It's a prototype. That's what they're supposed to be. This will be a 4-hole setup, and now we can take this off and we can fully weld it and get ready for building it for our production version for the GS6 17HG. Very, very cool. Like I said, we've got our prototype. It's been fully TIG welded and it fits just fine, and it centers the transmission output guibo right through the tunnel where it should go. We're gonna be doing production versions of this in December into January available for purchase. When you're shortening a shifter mechanism for any type of BMW that has a remote shifter installed relative to the transmission, you need to shorten both the shifter selector rod and the carrier. This is the selector rod right here, and this is the carrier right here. So they both need to make sure that they're centered in the shifter area so that when the shift knob goes through it, that the ball is circulating nice, right smack in the middle so that your neutral, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, fifth, sixth is all centered. Very, very important when you define an engine position. So now let's bring the car down and mark exactly where that center is located. It's a little easier to do it from above when you're looking straight down. You use a marker to denote exactly where that center is, and then you can get your dimension from there. Okay, using a welding wire to pull this shift carrier into position here, you can see that I've got a couple of different markers in there. I got a red one, I got a blue one. This one for the E36 looks surprisingly to fit right smack in the middle, right where that insignia is. It seems to be perfectly centered right there. So now I'm gonna take the shift carrier off. I'm gonna also do the same thing for the selector rod, which is down here. And I'm going to figure out exactly where that center is, take everything off and take a measurement. Now that we're done with this B48 swap into this E36, it's time to yank it out, get the B58 in, mount it to an 8 HP, and throw it in and see where those brackets fit. Guys, thanks a lot for watching. My name is Frank Macaluso from Garageaholic, giving you a plethora of engine swaps for your viewing pleasure, and they are also available on our website. Look down in the description to purchase these as a pre-order before we get our production version going, so you can get your spot while supplies last. Thanks a lot, guys. My name is Frank, and I'm out of here.